What's cracking, folks? This is Chuck Matto, conductor of Chuck's Flavor Train, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. All aboard, baby.
Welcome to Black Smoke Barbecue. We are a collaborative group that focuses on different aspects of barbecue from pitmasters from all across North America. Barbecue is a culture, and we discuss topics, ideas, and the methods of it on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. Our mission is to spotlight those lesser-known content creators in backyard barbecue, catering, food truck operations, as well as the African-American experience in modern-day barbecue. Sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the show.
The Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast is brought to you by Harder Charcoal, where quality meets taste. Get yours today at hardercharcoal.com and use the promo code BLACKSMOKE to save.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon from BKC Cooks. Y'all, again, Black Smoke Barbecue. It's not just the code we live by, it's the culture we embody, y'all. Make sure you subscribe right here on YouTube so you don't miss any of these great episodes and interviews. And boogie on over to Patreon, y'all. Yes, we have a Patreon. We have lots of exclusives. We have some exclusive shows on there that you won't see here. It's super affordable. Go over there and get you a pitmaster membership. Trust me, y'all. We'll have a lot of fun over there. We have a very special guest, as we usually do, and it's a brother that we've been trying to get on for some time, but we ain't gonna blame him today. We gonna have a whole lot of fun, y'all. But I want to introduce y'all to the brothers that's on the panel with us, starting off with my man Al from the Dog Pilots Barbecue. Alton, what's going on, bro?
Man, what's cracking, bro? How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. How you been?
You know, I've been right here, bro, but you know, you international all over the place. You don't stay home long enough for me to see you, bro.
I have no argument, bro.
Hey, it's all good, though, because hey, if I could, I would, too. So I ain't mad
Understood.
at you.
Understood.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I will not apologize for it. Like, life is good, man.
Hey, hey, when you got it, right?
Hey, man, you know, or act like you're getting it. Just either way,
sir.
man.
Hey, guess
move.
what?
Tell.
I got some news for y'all, so you can go ahead and clown me a little bit longer.
Come on.
We got an addition coming.
An addition?
Yeah. You know I stay getting grills, man.
Oh boy. you gonna finally put that island in the middle of the pool.
In the middle of the pool.
Because you ain't got no room for nothing else.
Man, hey, all I know is when Mama Jean come knock on the door, don't act like you ain't home. Because she coming to get you.
Jean, it wasn't me. It was
I already
all
told
on
her.
him.
I already told her. Brandon said it was okay.
Man, if you put that island in that middle of that pool, you better leave. So what you got coming, man?
No, man, we gonna add a rocket stove, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I figured, you know what? Why not? You know, I'm playing around with all this live fire stuff and, you know, doing this and that and the other. And I said, you know what? Because, you know, I'm spoiled like this sometimes. I picked up that Argentinian Discada a few weeks ago. And I'm like, let's see. I don't want to have to fire up the Alamo just to cook on this thing. So what else can I get to cook on? So then I refurbished the old backline, you know, deal that Ryan built me.
I saw you cooking on that last week, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been playing around with that. Then I'm like, I need something else. Rocket stove.
How do that lead to, you know what? It don't matter. it don't have to make sense.
It really don't, bro. It really don't. You know?
Well, Al will be proud of you. Shout out Al Fragoni.
Yes, sir.
Al will be proud of you, brother.
Hey, he already told me, man. He put in to get my papers, man, so I can get my Argentinian, you know.
That's what he told me when we was in San Antonio. He was like, man, you're the most Argentinian American I ever met in my life. So
as I should be, bro. But it's going to be fun to play with, man. That's for sure.
Good stuff. Well, you let me know when it's ready, man. I'll come over there and kick the tires with you.
Boy, it'll be here tomorrow.
Shut you ain't said nothing but a word. And next up, we got our resident poet, Tee from T-Dub Barbecue. Tee, what's shaking, bro?
Man, what's happening? This trying to stay cool, man.
Y'all catching hell up there. Y'all ain't used to this kind of heat, man.
I mean, we are, but not this early. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not used to. So remember country style. I was asking you about your camera.
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot some basic content on how to grill, you know, the basics.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe because I got used to being out there in the spring and in wintertime. Man, I had all type of camera shut-offs while I'm recording out there
Yeah,
in the
man.
heat. It didn't feel that hot, but I don't know what was going on, man. So, yeah, I got to go through that video. But other than that, doing pretty good, man.
Hey, well, good, man. I will definitely let you know. Yeah, as y'all see, the boss has made his entrance. Come on, sir. I'm in the middle of the podcast here.
Dog, I'm like, security just broke down the door, came
Yeah,
on in.
right.
Now he gonna leave. You see that? I'll tell you, man.
Come in like
But-
Debo.
Well, all I can tell you seen him. You try to fight him.
Nah, bro, he got it.
But yeah, T, that new camera I got with the fan built into it, man. Yeah, lifesaver in this heat. You know, because I've had all kind of issues, and the previous camera I had, which I still have, matter of fact, I'm using it right now. But that's gonna be my indoor camera because, bro, between April and November, yeah, it's just too damn hot, and those cameras get hot really fast, and they just start shutting off to preserve themselves, man. And yeah, for what we do, got to just shell out a little money, man, and get something
Yeah,
that's gonna take care of itself.
I got too comfortable, man, because that hadn't happened in a long time, and I was like, "What is going on? Is the battery dying?" And then I finally thought about it, and I was like, it's the heat.
Yeah,
I probably
man.
had it too close to the pit too, so that's probably another thing.
Yeah, but that's almost unavoidable, man. You know,
man, we'll work it out next time. Though. I got a plan.
good stuff,
Hey,
man.
Brandon, you didn't pack up your outdoor air conditioning unit to go out there and
I
cool
had
down
it.
the environment?
I had it. Come on now. You know, I was full Inspector Gadget, baby. I'm not about to be uncomfortable for nobody.
I ain't mad at you.
Oh, I had my hat with the fan in it. Trust me. And you know one thing about all of that? None of that shit worked. It was hot as hell down there. It was hot as hell. None of it mattered.
The only thing that was saving us was those waters and them Powerades, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
If they was ice cold, and bro,
Ice cold.
you talk about we was doing them damn Gatorades like shots, just one pass, it was over.
Hey, Charlie said he started hydrating about a month early.
Dude, I started like 4 or 5 days early because I got there, well, technically Saturday morning. Dude, I probably started hydrating like Tuesday, and I'm glad I did because I probably would have passed out.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hot as last year, but it was twice as humid. It was nasty.
Well, you know what's funny is I couldn't make it because we had a wedding to go to.
Yeah.
You know, out here in the hill country, and ironically, dude, it was actually cool out there for a change. So I guess you took the heat with you over there.
I guess so.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hey, anything I can do, brother. Anything I can do. Well, y'all, like I said, we do have a very, very special guest. I'm going to introduce y'all to this brother. If you haven't heard of him, you just ain't cool because everybody knows who this brother is. Man.
Yes, sir.
He's a content creator, a private chef, and a caterer with a focus on bold flavors and stunning visual plating. He lives in the Bay Area out there with his wife, and they have a very young daughter who he absolutely adores. And she pops up from time to time in his videos, help keep the family tradition going. Who does she can be? But he's built a massive, massive online presence, y'all. He's got over 2.5 million followers on TikTok, over 500,000 on Instagram. And he's one of the most influential barbecue creators that there is anywhere on the planet, y'all. He's gone viral because of his seasoning techniques, his signature catchphrases, and he has really engaged in short form content. And y'all, short form may sound easy. Oh, I only have to make a minute video. It is absolutely the opposite of that. Short form is extremely hard, and this brother does it extremely well, y'all. But look, he turned his passion into a thriving business. He has all types of brand collaborations and partnerships. He's also featured on season 4 Barbecue Brawl on the Food Network. And he was also on the cooking channel on Fire Masters. He's been all over the place. You'll see him at festivals, barbecue events, you name it. You're going to see this brother there. Y'all say what's up to our man, Chuck Matto, better known as Chuck's Flavor Train.
All aboard, baby. What's going on?
Big Chuck,
First
it's
of all,
good to
it's good to
finally
be
have
here.
you, brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Real good to be here. I wanted to cut you off like 10 seconds into that. That's way too much of an introduction for me. He makes it sound way more official and serious than any of this shit is, man. So,
Hey, brother, you know we got
super official.
we
Yeah,
got to
right.
give you your flowers, man. You know.
Thank you. I don't know if I deserve all that, but it's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to do what I do. I'm blessed and lucky. So,
Yes, sir.
Man, glad to have you, brother. It's been a while since I saw you last. I think last time I saw you was at Grill and Chill.
correct.
And
Yes, sir.
so-
Yeah, Grill and Chill out there in where was that? Corsicana?
Yeah, Corsicana, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, small little town out there. So yeah, it's been a minute, but it was a good time for sure.
For sure, man, for sure. So what's new with you, man?
Oh man, I can barely keep up. It's life is good, life is busy. Still cooking and catering, been doing events lately, been doing a lot of demos, as I'm sure you've seen, again, like Grill and Chill Fest and things like that. So a lot of travel. When I'm home, I try to lay low and kind of disconnect, which is weird because my job is to post online. But yeah, I was gone basically, 2.5 out of the past 3 weeks. I'm home for the next 10 days or so before I go out again. So trying to get caught up on filming and content and all that, and just living a fat kid's dream, man. Shit don't feel real, but I don't want to wake up,
I understand, man. I understand. So I know that you got introduced in the barbecue. Your brother gave you a Weber Smoky Mountain back
Yes,
a
sir.
couple
Still
years
got her
ago,
out
man.
back.
I love it. So take us through, man. What was it like when you had your first fire, when you lit that thing for the first time? What clicked and got you into all of this, bro?
Man, I could still see it just like yesterday. I mean, I had the Smoky Mountain, and I remember thinking, like, bro, I grilled on a gas grill, but I never had a barbecue, and I don't think I told him I wanted a smoker, so it was kind of like, what the hell am I going to do with this? And ran over to Home Depot, out here, and bought, I think it was a pack of like the Kingsford smoking chunks, and then the Kingsford blue bag. Grabbed that, ripped it open, lit it. And I remember, watching videos, T-Roy Cooks and Harry Sue, old school YouTube cats and the real OGs, and okay, that's how you set it up for the minion method. So I remember lighting that, and I'm like, oh, damn, I did it. Like, I made a little hole and had my chimney, and I think I counted out like 12 briquettes. Now it's like, I don't count nothing. Light the fire, we're good to go, But I think I counted out, like, I put 12 in the chimney, poured it in and lit it. And looking back now, I was burning a dirty fire. I didn't have the vents open proper, things like that, and I didn't let it burn off or ignite enough. But the cook, I mean, to me, and then luckily it was a rack of lamb, so it wasn't too long of a cook, but I took that, sorry, when I cut into it, let me get back. I talk about pretty and pink now. That first cut, I'm used to searing shit off high heat. I'd never had nothing like smoked to temp. So once it was smoked and ready, I cut that rack of limbs. Like, oh, it's just all pink, like coast to coast pink. There's no crust, but there's no like gray band, none of that. It was money, and it was just dripping with juices. So regardless of how the smoke quality may have been at the time, just the process of it, the flavor, it was phenomenal. And ever since then, I was hooked. And it became one of those things where people say, how'd you learn? I'm like, man, the internet. It's 2025 now. I mean, I was doing this in 2016. If you can't figure out how to barbecue now, you got to wake up, man. There's so much on the internet. All you got to do is Google how to do something, and you can find 10 people that know how to explain it way better than I can. Hundreds of people, so.
Yeah, I love it, man. And that's, that story is so common, man. Like, you hit that one thing, man, and you're hooked, and there's no pulling you back away from that, man.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's, as I've realized too, it's even now, like there are certain days or moments, it's like we're talking about going camping, my wife and daughter and I with some family friends, and my daughter's super excited, and my wife is like, on mixed, she likes some parts of camp and not, whatever. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. I'm telling the family, like, babe, it's been like 7 years. I was like, first of all the tools I got, like in the equipment, like we ain't even camping no more. This is glamping. Like we got a full restaurant coming with us with all the pop-ups and easy ups and tents. Like, so it's just like, you realize even the hobby and the business and all that kind of intertwine, and the things you collect and the knowledge you gain. It's like, I can start a campfire with my blowtorch. We can cook on that. I can make a breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day. I got enough tools to keep everyone hydrated. It's like, it's just, it all kind of just ties in and intertwines. And like I said, whether or not it's work or real life, like that camping situation, it's just fun to cook and have fun and play and, burn shit, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Hey, so Chuck, Welcome to the podcast, brother. I'm glad we finally got all the moon stars and quasars aligned to get you on, because it's been a while.
It has been a while, and it's one of those things too. It's like it's weird too, and I know you had Tone. Shout out to Tony TFTI on here, but it's like he knows like it's weird, as loud and obnoxious as I am and can be. Like when I'm home, man, he'll even text me like, "Bro, I hit you up yesterday." It's like, dude, it was a family day. Like it's like straight up, like it's like I chill, like I really am. So I apologize. I don't want y'all to think I was big timing or nothing. It's just I get busy, and then I really do try to detach as much as possible when I can. So
brother, it's all
but yeah,
good.
it's long overdue, and I'm happy to be here, man. For real.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of our brother Tony at TFTI, when he was here, we were talking about something, and that was the fact that a while back, man, one of my friends here in Austin owns a few restaurants. We had talked about putting together this little YouTube series where we would go to, people's houses, and we wouldn't even go in through the house, man. We want to go around the back.
Yeah.
We want to go around the back, see what grills you got, maybe chop
100%.
it up and cook something. And then lo and behold, here comes TFTI
Backyard
rolling up
invite.
to Chuck. Yeah, man. So what was that like, man, shooting that episode and being back there with all your grills lined up in those showcase?
Honestly, I think the weirdest part was even the camera crew and everyone involved in production, they're all people I'd kicked it with and already known. So I think the weirdest part was trying to explain things in a way that was one, appropriate for television, but still true. It's like, Tony would ask a question. I'm like, bitch, you know what I'm sorry. We can cuss on here, right? But it's like, bro, it's like, it's like, bro, you know what I'm talking about, fool. Like, but then I think, oh, this ain't, so it was just kind of, that was probably the most awkward part about it. But outside of that, it was a blast, man. I mean, I think when we filmed that episode, Tone and I had kicked it, I think just the prior week, So, and what's cool about him and I, at least our relationship, and he's like that. I mean, I think he'd agree to this, is that like, we'll kick it a lot and not even do content half the time. We kick it, our families kick it. We'll meet up and we'll go out and meet Napa for family days, or we'll go whatever it is. We just kick it. So I think it was more, it was super casual, but the weirdest part was just, trying to act like, oh yeah, this is for TV, or playing into that. But outside of that, it was fun as hell. And anytime I can kick it with that dude and just the whole Bay Area barbecue squad, it's always a good time,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hear that. So, as a fellow barbecuer and, a collector of fine grills, like me, how many grills are you up to right now?
Oh, Lordy. You know what? I've been a good boy lately, and I've definitely downsized in like the past year. I want to say up to, at one point, I think I had 24. And that was like actually at the spot. Obviously, I can't even, very lucky. I can't count how many have come in and out. But I want to say right now, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 only. I think only 14 right now. So, yeah, not too bad.
So I got to ask you the same question I know I always get asked. Which grill is your favorite grill?
Yeah. Man, well, it's kind of like, if I was like Ric Flair talking about my grills, like Ric Flair talks about women, it's like you got a grill for every opportunity, it's like, what are you trying to do? But no, and on a serious note, the Weber kettle is probably my go-to. Why? It lights quickly. It burns efficiently. You can do anything on it. You want to smoke on it? Cool. You want to grill some steaks? Get down like that. I apologize. The mailman just showed up. My dog's going nuts. But long story short, it really does everything. And that's what I like about it. Versus if I got friends coming over, I don't really want to spend all that time doing necessarily live fire cooking. Why? It's very cool sometimes, but it's a lot of work to be adding logs if I'm trying to be drinking or hopping in the pool or entertaining kids or whatever it is. So the Weber kettle is efficient. It's reliable. It's Old Faithful. Beyond that, the Weber Smoky Mountain and then the Pit Barrel, those are right there behind it. And those are kind of two birds of the same feather, if you will.
Oh, yeah. And your answer is pretty similar to what I say. And I always tell people, man, first off, that's like asking me, which one of my kids is my favorite kid, right? But then I follow that up with, I will say this. There's one grill that I will never be without, and that's that Weber kettle, for just exactly what you just said.
It does it all. And it's one of those things, people talk about barbecue's an expensive hobby, and it definitely can be. Not necessarily instantly, but over time, you're thousands of dollars in. But one of the things I always tell people, man, you got even $60 in your pocket. Check Craigslist right now. There's some cat out there that bought a Weber Smoky Mountain that either don't know how to use it or he's moving and never open it. He just wants to get it off his property. So I bought a Weber kettle for $40. I drove to Sonoma, which is about 40 minutes. I don't give a damn. $40 for a Weber kettle that's used once. It's like, that's right there, $40. Even if I had $100, I got $60 left to buy charcoal meat and live like a baller and a pack of beer, So
Yeah.
I always tell people the kettle's the easiest way to get into barbecue and the most affordable.
Absolutely.
Man, for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of people just don't catch on to that, They think
No,
you gotta
and
have
it's
some
like-
big expensive grill or whatever. It's like, nah, bro, you really don't.
No, the first smoker I had after the Weber Smoky Mountain, my brother-in-law is a contractor, does all kinds of, demo construction. He was doing a house, and it was this old person's house. They had an old ghetto-ass offset smoker. I don't even know what cheap brand it was, but it's like, he's like, bro, like, you want this? And at the time, I'm like, dude, it's an offset. Like, what is this? And looking back now, it's probably some, I don't even know what brand, but probably an $80 offset smoker. But it's like, I did a whole hog on that little piece of crap, and it's like, I feel like when you can learn to adapt to that, and I will say, like, I don't care where it's at. If there's a fire, I can find out a way to cook. It's like, so I feel like if you can cook on a piece of shit used smoker, you can cook on a 200-gallon custom built offset, reverse flow, all that. So,
Oh yeah. So with all the different grills you have, I know for me, because of what I do on YouTube and how people want to see pellet grill cooking for me or whatever, they think, oh well, that's your style of cooking, where it couldn't be further from the truth. So with all your different grills and all the different avenues you have, what would you say is your style of cooking?
Man, I get this question a lot, and it's one of those things it's hard for me to describe, if I'm being honest. Even when I got cast for Barbecue Brawl or anything like that, they ask, what's your style? And like the main thing I say is flavor forward and fun. It's I don't really care what it is. I do a lot of fusion, I love the Asian population out here in the Bay Area. So I do a kind of, barbecue with Asian flavors. I'm adopted. My dad's Italian. I do a lot of things smoked and then braised with an Italian influence. So I try to tap into the cultures around me, but all of those things should be flavor forward. It's my goal is, when I look at recipes personally online, and maybe y'all can relate, this is the best way for me to say it. You ever look at a recipe and you follow it, and it's like, yeah, the instructions are clear, but you taste it, it's like, oh, this needs this, and this needs a little of that. Oh, yeah. My goal is to put out shit that when you make it, it's like, oh, I don't got to do nothing. Like, this is there. Like, this smacks already. And I feel like that's a big problem across the whole industry and cookbooks. And I get it. It don't look healthy if it says, a tablespoon of salt versus a teaspoon. I'm being real. When the fuck is a teaspoon of salt enough for anything? When is that enough? When is 2 garlic cloves enough for anything? Get out of here. I don't know what skinny ass little dummy made the cooking rules, but they don't know but that shit don't hit. So my goal is to bring the flavor. And at the very least, even if it's like, well, that's not tradition, or maybe a chef would do a different technique, the flavor's on point. That's my goal,
Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. When you're talking about flavor forward, because I totally get it. I'm a big fan of Bobby Flay, and he's all about that flavor, whatever.
Flavor, yeah, absolutely.
So aside from not putting enough salt or enough whatever, what is the technique you would tell people that's starting out? Like, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't nail your temperatures right, or this right, or that right, but this is how you get your flavor right.
I think the biggest thing is season throughout. And, I think that'd be the simplest and biggest thing I could say. And what do I mean by that? You're cooking a brisket, right? You're going to go ahead and you're going to season the outside. You throw it on a smoker. If you notice that maybe throughout the process you spritz, maybe it's bending because the way it's sitting on your grill, and you get a dry puddle building up. Fix that puddle. Wipe that water off and that moisture. Go ahead and apply more seasoning there. When you're wrapping, if you want to do a tallow, you can infuse your tallows with rosemaries, with garlics, with seasonings. When it's done, after you slice it, you can also season those slices. To me, that's the biggest sin of any barbecue spot, is I don't have to see it, but I can taste the outside, even on a brisket. I don't care how well you season it. Season those slices too. Brush it with a tallow. Season throughout. Even if you fucked up and missed the first 10 steps, season at the end again. But taste, season, layer the flavor. But that's the main thing. You can pick up a lot just by constantly tasting, seasoning. So that'd be it.
I hear that.
So what I want to know is, first of all, watching your videos, and you've talked about it here already, just the seasoning. You do things with butter, garlic. I mean, it's a whole list of things. How did you turn your passion from the backyard to being a private chef and catering?
Lord, I really got lucky, living where I live at. I think it's the main thing as far as how I made it happen. As far as I'll answer the first part with the flavors. Living up where I live at with all the influences and the restaurants and things like that and the different cultures, again, the Asian population and the Asian cultures, fish sauce is a big thing. I'm not afraid to get down with Worcestershire sauce. It's kind of considered classic Rustin Americana. A lot of European cooking. Soups and stews will have it, but it's not really a common ingredient. But I figured that shit like fish sauce, all things taste good. Why not try to put it into more dishes? And then as far as the catering side goes, like I said, I really did get lucky living where I live at. I just so happened to start growing on social media right when the pandemic was hitting. And for a lot of people, that was a bad time. And it still is, look back to the bad time. But I mean, for me personally, at least business wise, the blessing was that while certain places couldn't accommodate guests, people were still having trips to the Napa Sonoma area or to San Francisco, which is right on the other side of me. Hey, this restaurant's closed. Do you cook? Yes, I do. So I was really able to jump into that kind of loophole and fill that gap for me. And that's really what started it. And living out here in the Bay Area, one, it's a small place, Is it, big in the sense that, yeah, you've got San Francisco and all these things, but yeah, but it's small, man. Without traffic, you can go from the complete North Bay to the South Bay in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's not big. So I think cooking for certain high profile clients and then people talking and word of mouth just led. And I got lucky, people like the food and one thing led to another. The flavor train's rolling and not good. I don't want it to end. So.
What was that first experience like? The first time you catered an event?
There's two I got to go to. The first one that really, and it wasn't barbecue, but my folks who had just moved to a different part of town in Napa at the time, they were having a dinner party and they had some guests coming over. The jeweler that actually got my wife, or that I went and got my ring from for my wife, and some other family friends, the opera singer, people that I'm like, these are high profile individuals I want to impress, whatever. But I made chipino for them. Fresh seafood, crab, lobster, the whole works. And it being in the Bay Area is what we do. And now it's kind of one of my signature dishes, which is kind of funny. But I served it, and I remember doing the dishes with my wife at the time. And I cooked on site and served them, whatever. It was quick, easy. It wasn't just having fun. I remember telling my wife, I remember looking at her as she's washing the dishes, like, babe, like, I kind of want to do this. And it's funny because I didn't even think about it like that. Like, I didn't advertise to my parents. They just hit me up. And even when I said it, it's just weird to look back now. But I remember vividly saying, like, I think I want to do this. Like, this was fun. Like, even you just helping me, like, this shit's fun. That was that experience. Cut to maybe 6 months later, actually. So I hadn't even had a smoker yet. So about 6 months later, after having, gotten a smoker 2 months after that gig, so about 4 months into having meets, a family friend hit me up or hit my sister up. It's like, hey, your brother's been posting these pictures on Instagram. Does it cater? And of course, being eager and young and dumb and full of, zest. Yeah, I cater. Not knowing what the hell, And I'm sure we all been there. So it was like,
Yeah.
And so I did that gig. I remember, it's funny speaking to my wife being there. I remember getting there and it was brisket, pulled pork, fruit salad, baked beans, and macaroni salad. Everything, classic barbecue, especially it's like nowadays, it's like I try to, whatever, classic barbecue. But I remember fruit salad, like a dumbass, not even thinking, like, bananas in the fruit salad for some reason, which turned brown.
Yeah.
And they don't go in there, just like just a dumbass, It's like, oh, there's. So I remember getting to the site and like opening the fruit salad and telling my wife, like, we gotta leave. Like, we have to go home. Like, we gotta leave. She's like, babe, like, get your shit together, man up, like you're fucking here. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, either don't serve it or just serve it. They're not gonna care. It tastes like fine. It's bananas, just the bananas are brown. And so I honestly can't remember if I served it or not. I think I did just serve it and said YOLO, Long story short, the brisket was money. The pulled pork spoke for itself. Everything else was hitting. I didn't get a complaint on the fruit salad. So it was exhilarating. It was terrifying. It was all the feelings. And I still get that now. I did a wedding this past weekend with a bunch of more qualified chefs than I like to think of than me. A wedding for a very good friend's daughter, 125 people, and we were doing a plated dinner, like, and I remember like all the time leading up to it, it's like, oh my God, like how are we going to get this done? Like we got to serve in this amount of time and we're doing fancy plates. Like, I'm talking, 3 different options, each ticket, restaurant style, which is not what I do. And the whole day I'm shitting my britches. And then as soon as it's like ticket 1, blah, blah, this, and I'm on the steak station doing steak and fries, I'm like, perfect. And it's like, as I'm doing it, like, I just like, as soon as it starts, I can just like the energy, I'm smiling. It's like, and I get that feeling every time. It's like nerve wracking, but it's once you're cooking and doing it, it's the best feeling in the world. You know, it's like, I try to tell people, like, it's almost like I feel like a musician or a rock star. It's like I'm building up for this thing. And then it's like, oh, now when I'm cooking, this is my time, baby. Like, buckle up. I'm running this shit. You know, it's like, but before that, I'm like, what's going to happen? How's it going to go? We got to prep. We got to practice. And then once it's done, it's that adrenaline up, you know, it's like, oh my God, we did that. Like, good job. You know, you want to hug people and have a beer and, you know, it's the best feeling ever. I don't know how to explain it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, look at y'all. We're going to take a quick break, man, pay a few bills. Look, folks, make sure you check out our sponsors and don't just sit here and watch these commercials. Get out there and buy some of the stuff from these people, man. They take care of us. So y'all get out there and take care of them. We'll be right back.
We like you to meet Sweet Charlene, the barbecue seasoning created from family bonds that is low in sodium but high in flavor. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pitmaster. Level up your barbecue game with this dry rub that has amazing taste and great color. Go to eddierightbarbecue.com right now and order your choice between the 6-ounce shaker bottle, the 16-ounce bag, or my favorite, the 32-ounce bag, and start rubbing your beef, pork, and poultry the right way.
A revolutionary new grill brush is here, designed to eliminate the dangers associated with traditional wire bristle brushes. Meet the Boyer brush, which will make cleaning fast, easy, and safe. The rust-proof stainless steel spring bristles are designed to withstand failure and last for many years. The Boyer brush is crafted with a heavy-duty, all-metal design that is dishwasher safe. Cleaning your grill with the Boyer brush while hot will provide effective cleaning without bristle loss danger. With a long handle for two-handed pressure that provides rapid cleaning that's easy and safe, it's time to say goodbye to the dangers of traditional grill brushes and hello to the last grill brush you will ever buy. Get yours now at BoyerBrush.com.
All right, y'all, and we're back. And again, make sure y'all check out our sponsors, y'all. They have some really, really good stuff. So, Chuck, you absolutely went nuclear, man, on social media. Where did it get to a point where you was like, man, this shit's starting to blow up? Like, when did it really become like, okay, this is taking off?
Yeah, it's gosh, I mean, even now, every day, you know, I really do mean it when I say, like, I'm blessed and lucky. I don't take any follower for granted, even if I miss a message or whatever. I don't take nothing for granted. But I guess when it really started going crazy, if you want to say, it's like when TikTok hit, you know. I think I posted a video, my first one on there. It was like a seared steak video, and I think it did all right, like, you know, like 9,000 views, which at the time, like, that's great. I think it's funny if you look back now, it's up over, you know, a couple 100,000, whatever. But it was like 9,000 views, I think, maybe. And then, like, the next one was like, oh, 120,000. Okay, views are cool. You're growing and things like that. And I've been on Instagram, mind you, for 4 years, basically posting daily. It's like with, you know, and I think I was at like, you know, 10,000 followers on Instagram. Posted on TikTok, you know, another video starts going viral, you know, 500,000. I'm like, shit, everything I'm posting on TikTok's hitting numbers. Then one day it was like, I don't know if I gotten like the main out what happened, but it was just like the followers were coming. Like, I could refresh my feed and it'd be like, oh, 500 followers, refresh it, 500 followers, refresh. And I could do that all day. I mean, I had days where I gained 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers in a day, you know, on viral videos. And that's when it really got crazy. And then maybe after 6 months, probably at TikTok. Yeah, probably 6-7 months of TikTok. I was at a brewery out here, a meadery, cidery brewery spot, and with a buddy, and kind of lit at this point. So I'm like, it took a minute when people started running up to me, but people are like, dude, like, you're the guy. Like, Gordon's talking about you. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, like, what the, you know, it's like, and even then another friend's like, dude, like, did you know that? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And I pulled it up. My sister's like texting and calling. The service is shitty. I'm kind of drunk. And long story short, Gordon Ramsay had duetted a video of me. And that was like the first time where I was like, as far as like growth and exposure, I'm like, oh, damn, like this shit's really hitting, you know, it's like, that's another level. So yeah, I would say maybe 8 months into the TikTok thing, but in reality, I'd been posting for almost 5 years at that point, you know?
What do you think it was that really propelled you to those numbers, man? You think it was your style? You think it was your content?
I think it was one, I think it was a lot of things. One, even when I was posting on Instagram at the time, Instagram, that for those that don't remember, all you young cats out there making me feel old and shit. Instagram was only photos. People don't know that. Instagram was just a picture app. So when I'm talking about posting barbecues and stuff back in the day, it was just a picture of a rack of ribs or a picture of a brisket. And folks would like that. There was no, so that's how it started. So, and then Instagram introduced like short videos. It wasn't called reels, it was just videos. And you could do short videos up to a minute. I think it was 30 seconds in a minute, and they expanded. But at that time, it's like you could add music, but I didn't even think people were talking. So I was just record videos like everybody else, put that on Instagram. When TikTok started coming out, I'd take those old videos and do voiceovers. And I certainly didn't invent the voiceovers. You had guys on YouTube doing, but I think I brought a new energy to the short form voiceover that at the time, and nowadays everyone's fucking yelling and hyped up and got a catchphrase and slapping meat. But I just felt like at the time, like, especially if you're looking at TikTok, there wasn't a lot of barbecue cats on there. Like, and it's cool. Like, Tone will tell you, like, I remember, like, when he talked about, like, dude, like, I watched you and, like, wanted to start. And I'm not saying I'm an OG like that, but as far as the TikTok and social media video world goes, there wasn't a lot of people posting videos. So I think just the fact that I was one of the early ones and I was talking, had energy, personality, it was something different. We all remember those boring, we all remember the early videos that started it, where it was, and I'm not even talking about TikTok and YouTube, but like, you remember it'd be like BuzzFeed videos, and it was always some soft-spoken white lady if they did talk, or it'd be just some white lady's hands, and there'd be a shot over, pour the noodles, do this, stir for 30 seconds. I was just sick of seeing that. Every video was that. And so I really just took my own content and started talking. And it's funny because people talk about, do you think about catchphrases? It's like, nah, dude, I literally just sit on my phone. I record the voiceover. I talk shit. If it comes out cool, people like sometimes like, bro, you said that last time. Yeah, I'm not planning shit, bro. And if it's new, cool. If not, it is what it is. But I really am just talking that talk, having fun. And that's really what it was. So I think it was a matter of timing and just being myself. And I think that's what I tell everyone else is just be yourself, man. You don't got to talk like I do. Talk like you do. And that's what people want to see.
So how did the opportunity for a barbecue brawl come about? And what was that experience like?
Again, I keep going back to just right place, right time. But I think, with the barbecue boom, as we're all living in and a part of and are experiencing, and it's still going on right now, but it really did coincide with the kind of period of really the late 2010s is when it started with the barbecue pitmaster show and things like that, but as far as the outside world picking up on it, things like that, I would say it was right around 2020, and it just so happened that Barbecue Showdown on Netflix was casting, and then Barbecue Brawl and all these things. And I had talked to Food Network about being on, I want to say season 2, went through the process, but it was pandemic and being locked down and leaving the family and just some of the, and again, I just like, I struggle enough with anxiety. I didn't want to be locked down for a week before the shoot and then have to be gone that long and all that, especially out of state. So when they came back around and hit me up, I was like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, oh, we're filming in Southern California. I'm like, well, hell yeah. Like, I'm in Cali. That's cool. I'm in SoCal all the time. So that's easy. And then, I mean, they're from out of state, the casting agents. They're like, oh, it's in Half Moon Bay, which ain't Southern California. That's an hour from my house. So I'm like, yeah. It just worked out. I'm like, oh, it's meant to be. So,
that's a beautiful area too, man.
Exactly. Gorgeous out there. Yeah. So long story short, the first time, just with pandemic and anxiety and some health issues with my mom, it just timing wasn't right. Came back. It was in the state. It was close. And I figured, when else am I going to get the chance, type thing, to have it be this close. It's almost like it was meant for me. So couldn't pass it up. And the experience was awesome, man. It's my wife and I, we were just out in Half Moon Bay 2 weeks ago. We just did a little staycation for Father's Day, we go out there still. I tell my daughter that's where Daddy stayed. She stayed at the hotel when that's where, and she knows everything from the show. That's where Bonotto and I would hang out. That's where, so it was a cool experience. Memories I'll have a lifetime. And I'm still cool with all the chefs on the show, which is really cool. We're still friends. We're still tight. We still support one another. So yeah, it's something I'll never forget, And the best part, for real, I mean, I even screenshot it just 2 days ago. And I miss messages too, but I get, 5-10 messages a week still. And it's been almost 2 years. Like, bro, like, I just watched it. You're the man, bro. You should have won. You're the people's champ. I was wine tasting with my wife and my brother-in-law and his wife a couple months ago out in Sonoma. And I thought I was being loud and noxious or, smelled like reefer or something. This dude walks over, him and his partner walk over, like, dude, like, you're the guy. Like, you're the guy. Like, you should have won. Like, you know, like, oh my God, like, we just watched, like, and it's like cool to have that happen in public, like, you know, from people out of state, but coming to my, it's just like small worlds. Like, that's the stuff I'll never forget or take for granted, you know, and that happens still all the time. And Sunny, my captain, said that would happen. She's like, you'll hear this for the rest of your life. And it was true. You know, I hear it all the time, and it's just a trip.
So let me ask you about that, man. So, brother, I am nowhere close to being as famous and well known
Not
as you
famous
are.
at all, man. I'm not famous at all. Stop.
But I tell you what, dude, in the most random places, people will come up to me and say, "Are you the guy that's on YouTube, man? You do the cooking stuff?" I'll be like, "Yeah, that's me." And I'm, how the hell they know me? You know, and it's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Of course." Well, you want to take a picture with my podcast? Like, of course.
Yeah, right.
So I imagine you get that all the time, but does it still like trip you out when people do that?
I definitely don't get it all the time. There are certain areas, you know, and again, I said it before, the Bay Area is a small place. And also, again, it's like, if I go, because I'm so loyal to the Niners or the Giants, if I go to a Niners game or a Giants game, is someone probably going to say something? Yeah. Is it because they recognize me from social media? Yeah. Or maybe it's because I'm there all the time getting drunk cheering for my squad. Who knows, you know? But regardless of why, you know, it's like anytime, it's like I get goosebumps. It's like, I'll never forget. It was like I was at Six Flags with my wife and my daughter, and we're walking around, and my daughter had ran up ahead. We're going into like the bug, like, you know, humid area with the butterflies and all that. And she runs in. There's a bunch of little kids sitting right there, probably 12, 13, 14-year-old kids, like 4 or 5 of them. They're like sitting, pointing. And I hear one of them say, like, dude, I think it's him. Like, say something. Dude's like, no, it's him. And all I do is I just go like, and the kids are, oh, it's him. Like, I'm like, jump up, like, oh my God. It's like, dude, like, like, of course I'll take. Next time, like, don't even hesitate. Like, run up to me, like, please. Like, so, you know, I love it every time. And it's like, you know, it's one of those things, and again, I'm not famous, so maybe, but I don't understand how when celebrities like, dude, I get there's certain times or moments, I understand that. But when you're out, especially if I'm out doing something or it's a barbecue event, like, you are not bothering me. Like, I'm there for y'all. Like, I call it the Flavor Gang for a reason. I would not have a life, this life, without the people that give a shit about me. And that's the actual facts, you know?
Yeah, man.
So Chuck, let me ask you this, man. You're doing private events, you know, chefing it up, doing your thing, you're in your element. So what I want to know is experiences. Okay. What happens, or have you had an instant happen where you did your cook and somebody didn't like what you cooked? And if so, how did you handle it?
I have never, knock on wood, at least not to my face, at a catering gig. Family functions are different, you know, cooking, especially coming up. But at a catering gig, I've never had an instance where someone's been disappointed or not like something. I will have moments in my mind, and especially whether it's my wife or my boy Anthony, Pun vs. Food, shout out, who helps me a lot. I'll be like, bro, this brisket sucks. He's like, dude, you make, you know, X amount of briskets a week. Like, these people don't judge a brisket like you do. And 5 minutes later, the main person in the party is like, dude, this is the best fucking brisket I ever had. Like, I'm like, okay, you know, it's like, so. But I did have one event, and it's one of those things. She was a sister from Washington, D.C., and she happened to work for the FBI, which I was already like, oh shit, here we go. She brought a whole which I'm like, oh, you probably checked me out. She's like, oh, I did. And I'm like, damn. Well, it's like, luckily, you know, it's whatever. But I was nervous about that. But yeah, and that's one thing, like, just cultural, I like, and doing more events now, you realize you can just tell, like, some people like their meat well done. She was an old school sister from Washington, D.C., like I said, FBI. She don't want no pink in her meat. And it's like, I served like some lamb chops, which is like one of my specialties. I go to one of the first things I started smoking, they're pink in the middle. That's just how it's supposed to be. Like, you want, you know. And I remember, like, everyone was like, oh, like, this is perfect, this is perfect. I gave her hers and, like, went in the kitchen. Then I heard, like, some talking. I kind of went back out, like, how's everything doing, you know? And she's like, oh, like, this is raw. And one of the dudes with her is like, that's not raw. Like, that's how chefs cook it. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, that's good. You know, he's like, if you don't want it, I'll eat it. I'm like, no, I can quickly sear it off. Like, you know, like, bring it to a further temp if you want. And I did that, and she was fine and loved it. But it was funny. So when I went back in the kitchen, I can hear, like, them talking, like, you know, her still being like, oh, this is raw. And him being like, no, man, it's perfect. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. So I don't think I was in the wrong. I just, now it's one of those things when I cook a rack of lamb, I cook it medium rare. If you don't like it, don't get it. But it's one of those things like I don't like to cook it well done. And it's a private gig. If you don't want it like that, like get a different protein anyway. But I want to cook things to what I think are the best. And obviously I want to sacrifice or not sacrifice, but bend to make the client happy. But I feel like when you take a rack of lamb to well done, it just is it's like, filet mignon. Why am I thinking that's well? It's like, I'll get you a ribeye and cook that well. At least there's enough fat in that to keep it juicy. But like, there's just certain cuts you take them to well, they kind of dry out. And it just so. But it did crush me in a moment when I heard her say it's raw. But as soon as one of the dudes there was like, no, it's perfect. I'm okay. The whole family gets it. It's just,
Yeah, I hear that. Hey, I tell you what, let's back up here. Let's go back to something you said in the first segment because it really resonated with me. And that was Cioppino.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love making Cioppino, bro. And a lot of people really don't understand it. And they think, oh, this is an Italy dish and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. This is
San Francisco dish.
San Francisco.
San Francisco, 100%. Yeah. And so it's weird. It's even now if I go out with my dad, anytime we go out, he'll be like, oh, you're going to get pasta with seafood. I'm a sucker for seafood. Always have been, always will be. We're supposed to cook tonight. And as we started this, I'm like, shit, we might go to the Dead Fish, which is a seafood spot like 10 minutes away instead. Sidetracks aside, though. Yeah, as a kid, having seafood and things like that, I can remember Cioppino is one of those dishes that stands out. It's kind of like fajitas of fine dining in that when they come out with that big-ass bowl and you see the legs of the crab sticking out and that big old piece of bread, and then it gets to the table and it's like, oh, this is for me? Like, I get all this, and it's got everything. It's got mussels, plant, whatever the fresh seafood of the day is.
Yeah, man.
And then it's like if you're a real boss or OG, you tell them, hey, can I get a little bit of noodles on the bottom of that? Even if it's not on the menu, the chef can always, it's noodles, pasta, don't cost nothing. They'll throw it on there for you. So soak up all that sauce at the bottom. But it's just a hitter, man. It warms your soul. And there's so many different styles and types. It's really one of those things I tell people, make a bomb-ass red sauce, like a red soup sauce, and then add your seafood. You can do a red one, you can do white one. If you want spicy, throw chili flakes and sausage. Whatever the hell, however you like it, every place I heard will be different, Make the best red sauce you can, throw in the freshest seafood you could find, and that's it.
I mean, that's really the whole thing to cooking, man, is whatever you like. Do
it.
I
Exactly.
no rules.
Say it all the time.
Yeah.
So we do. Well, we do have a rule now. Just don't make
ribs, man. Come on.
You don't boil ribs, and just don't make nasty food.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. So,
you like what you like, but come on, bro. We got to have a standard here.
Something.
Man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell y'all this. So before I ever even had a smoker or knew about anything beyond gas grilling, I used to work. This is 14-ish. I worked at a group home in Sonoma. Boys, I ran a house, bunch of house on campus, 12 boys a house, whatever. My supervisor, it's like, I ran the house. I was the unit supervisor. Then you have your whatever, coordinator, Mr. Young, old brother, played football, old cat, barbecue dude, and can cook. Like, he really can cook. He's talking all this, yada, yada, whoop to whoop, because I cook and the boys like my ribs. He's like, let's have a competition. All right, so we have a rib cook-off. He's like, you better not boil your ribs, bro. And I'm like, well, dude, like, first of all, I don't have a smoker at the house. It's like, and I got to cook for all these maniacs. So at the time when I would cook there, I would boil my ribs in the morning, let them cool off, season them, get the boys ready for school, do all that shit all day, grill them off at the end. So when I'm doing this rib cook-off with him, I did exactly that. And we had all the boys vote. We had other staff, things like that. And I want to say it was like 24 to like 11. You know what I'm saying? I won. And he was so heated because I boiled my ribs. I'm like, and it's like, I get it, but it's also like, it's the flavor, the texture. Also, you got to remember, we're feeding kids, bro. They want the shit to fall off the bone. They're not looking for this barbecue. It's like, even on barbecue brawl, when we had the rib challenge, I remember, no disrespect, my boy Harold, I could hear him talking like, oh, I want to garnish with cashews and cilantro. I'm like, bro, we're serving country folks out here. Told my team, sweet, overcook the shit out of them. Smoke them till they fall apart. These folks don't know. Like, they want tender-ass, sweet barbecue ribs. And we won that with a landslide. It's like, part of it's knowing your audience too.
Yep. Read the room. You got to read.
It's like I could have gigs where it's like I've realized like if I cook things like on a pellet smoker, dudes will be like, "Oh, it's good," but like the smoke ain't that heavy. Where it's like if I've done like a bachelorette party or I've had wedding engagements where it's all women or whatever, and like Traeger chicken or pellet grilled chicken, and them, it's like this is the best. It's smoked perfect. And then it's like you give them like real smoked chicken, they're like, "Ooh, it's a little smoky." It's just Every palate is different. You know what I'm saying? Am I serving construction workers? Am I serving high school kids? Am I serving men or women? Am I serving old folks or young folks? Is it early in the morning? Is it a brunch menu, or is it late night when they're already faded and lit? You know, it's like all that matters, you know, in my opinion. It really does.
Absolutely. So let's back up here and get to know Chuck a little bit here. I'm gonna hit you with a question that I posted in my YouTube community the other day, and the question is, when you're not cooking for somebody else, not for, a client or whatever, it's just you, your family, your boys, whoever, you're in the backyard kicking it, chopping it up. What is Chuck sipping on when he's cooking?
Man, anybody that knows me knows I'm a drinker and I run on octane. So, drink of choice, honestly, if I was to be sipping on something throughout the day, and I'm going hard, like long, it's probably some sort of seltzer. I like a nice Truly. I know it's kind of like whatever, but I do the Trulies or anything like that. If I'm going liquor during the daytime, I'm a vodka cranberry guy. Anything vodka really during the daytime, I'll do tequila too. I try to keep the brown when the sun starts to go down, just because if I drink too much dark during the day, I'm not going to make it to nighttime. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm a big vodka cranberry guy, pink panty droppers, pink panthers, whatever you want to call them. That's how I get down. So.
Yeah.
So Brandon had mentioned earlier in your intro, talking about your sayings, and all the little phrases that you come up with, man. How did you come up with this stuff, man?
It's weird. I honestly can't remember. Like, I really don't know. I did rap before, like right after high school and stuff, and even senior year, back in the MySpace days, I was trying to be a rapper, C Train was the rap name, which is kind of how Chuck's flavor, whatever. But C Train, which came from football, my coach would call me, C Train. It's like, you don't want to be on the tracks when the train's coming through,
Yeah.
I move slow, but once I get going, get out the way type thing. But yeah, so I was wanting to rap, and I was, I thought I had bars, whatever. And then starting to do these voiceovers, again, it just goes back to trying to be entertaining. It's like, and literally, my daughter was a newborn about that same time, and she'd be sleeping in the other room, so I'd just be sitting there, just a voiceover, just talking shit, like, and blah, 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 flavor pack and never lacking, blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, people like that, so I'd say it again, and then blah, blah, flavor pack and never lacking, official, and they like that. So it's like, I just kind of would ad lib and say some dumb shit that, sounded funny at the time, people like it. And even the other day, like, I was out in Montana with Tone and Steph and 406 and Blake and Star Barbecue, a bunch of the guys, and we were kind of chilling late night, and I was a little lit, and I forget what I said. And like, bro, like, how do you do that? I'm like, bro, I don't even know what I just said. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really how it happens. I tell people, like, the more I have time to think about stuff, like when I do, and I'm glad we didn't, BS really before we started. We just hopped on and started talking. Same thing. I'll do like a news TV segment or something. So I don't want no pre-talk, because as soon as I say it, if I fumble it or you want me to repeat it, I can't. Like, let's just go live, and that's when I'm my best, So really, it's like, I always joke with my wife. It's like, oh, I see cameras everywhere, and when I do, like, I black out and the camera possesses me. It's like, but I could be at a party, like, we'll be hanging out, and just out of nowhere, it's like, someone, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, there's a camera right there. And I'll be like making a face, like looking at, yeah, well, I'm seeing my meat. I have an eye. I don't know. So I was a big fan of wrestling and cutting promos back in the day. Like, I remember signing my yearbooks to the Chuck in like fourth grade instead of the Rock, like signed with the Chuck. The Chuck. It was like, because the Rock, that was literally it. So, and I just remember, like, I tell people now, like, sometimes people are like, dude, you're like way more laid back than I thought. Or when you turn it on, it's like, oh, you're exactly the same, just turned up. It's like, I look at it like a wrestler, man. Like, I'm always me. It's just sometimes you turn that dial up a little bit, but I'm not going to embellish it and turn it up to something I'm not. I'm always myself. And I think that's where I'm able to tie it in. If I'm talking shit in my promos or I'm rhyming, like, I'm saying things that I believe or things that are, natural to me. I'm not trying to make something up and promote something that's fake. So
sidebar, who cut the better promo, Flair or Macho?
Honestly, I don't think Flair. Sorry, let me answer this question, because people are going to get real pissed about this, depending on how I say it. I think Ric Flair was a good example of bravado in the lifestyle, and had really like 3 good promos that he's remembered for. A lot of the time, if you look back at Ric Flair's best promos, he's saying the same thing over and over and over again. Where I think Macho Man was different in that he had the passion, the pizzazz. He could play crazy hyped up. He could play angry, emotional, and he was original. You know, it was like I felt like every time he did something, and then you watch him on Arsenio Hall, like
he's great on Arsenio Hall.
You talk, it's like what is
Yeah.
like I've soared with the eagles and I've swam with the snakes. A real man cries and I will cry again, but it doesn't matter how hard you get knocked down. It's about getting back up, and that's what being a macho man's about. Can you dig it? It's like that's just some shit to say, like, you know, it's like quick, sweet, to the point. You know, it's like, so yeah, I would give it to Macho Man for my style. As an overall influence, you know, would there be a Macho Man without Ric Flair? Probably not. So
I will say, I agree with you, but I will say one of Ric Flair's coldest moments, somebody was heckling him in the crowd. My man spun around, told him, my shoes cost more than your house.
And he would say stuff like that all the time. It's like, you know, he was good. And like when you watch some of those old WWE promos now, like Shawn Michaels, if you're a fan of Shawn Michaels, like he's a menace. Like there's videos of him. He kissed the kid's mom on the way to the ring. Like they're chanting something, calling him, you know, like I forget, but he's like, oh, ask your mothers and your sisters how, you know, whatever I am. You know, it's like he would like just back in the day, it was a wild time you could say that. I remember like Ric Flair out of nowhere, he's like, I'd bring that girl home and not that big fat one right there. And like the caption's like, what did that lady do? Like, you know, it's like, but literally out of nowhere, he just
right.
like,
she just caught that straight.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, it's a different time. But yeah, long story short, I think promos can do a lot to build hype. You know, it's at the Alfregoni Open Fire meetup or the Texas Open Fire meetup last year. My main task from Tone was to like give the speech, and it's like all day. He's like, bro, you're nervous. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, I don't want to write shit down though. Like I've just got to be nervous and have one theme. And once I black out, I can ride the tail of that theme to the promised land, hopefully. And it came out all right, you know, but yeah, building hype and anticipation and using words in a powerful way, I think is an underrated tool, especially nowadays, you know.
So you're going to be at the meetup this year?
Always, of course. Yeah.
We'll be there.
Never missing that again. Yeah, it'll be a good time as always. So I just got to hydrate up. As we were talking about earlier, hydrate. It's like, dude, last year I went down for real. After I gave the speech to the judges at the end of my speech, I'm like, I'm about to black out. I said it to the judges and walked away. I was like, I gotta stop talking, talk to the teammate. And then like Rashid see me, he runs over and it's like, hey, dude, like you good? Like, and I didn't say nothing. I'm just sitting there. He put like a wet towel around my neck, gave me a liquid IV. All the homies are giving me stuff. I'll be fine. Didn't want to say nothing. I walked into the house and it fell down. Texting my wife, was like, babe, I'm on the floor in the bathroom. Like, I don't think I can get up right now. Like straight up, just like exhaustion. It's like, you know, being there 4 a.m. until, you know, 3. And I think just after the speech, it was such an adrenaline dump. And my body was just like, all right, we're out, you know? So, but yeah, no, this year it's like, I got a 30-day window to hydrate before I get there. So that shit don't happen again.
Said all that happened and I'll do it again, damn it.
Oh, 100%. No, this year I'm expecting to black out during the judges. I'm not even joking. As soon as it got done and we got third place, you know, judges call, which is dope, especially as boys from California going to Texas and doing that against teams from around the world. But it's like I told Tone and all the squad, it's like as cool as that was, like I don't care. We have to go harder next year. Like, you know, like they've heard us talk. They've tasted our flavors now. So how can we make it even better? Because they know what to expect from us now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man, if you need a sous chef or whatever to come help out, you holler. We're going to be there. We're going to be there.
Hell yeah, you know, it'll be a good time. Yeah.
Oh, man,
yeah, we'll be out there.
Man, need all the help we can get.
No, when we were hanging out with Al a few weeks ago, we were basically told in no uncertain terms that, like, yeah, be there. So,
yeah, that's how. And that's the cool thing about Al is like, you know, he's one of those dudes, everyone's family. He wants everyone involved. He don't hold nothing back. He don't want to gatekeep nobody. So, and that's one of the cool things about the whole barbecue community at every event. I tell people I invite everybody or try to as well, but I also tell people just show up just by going to events, the people you'll meet, the connections you'll make, the opportunities that'll arise, the shit that you'll get invited to just from being there. Guys, you know, you go after the competition, people are out drinking and, hey, dude, tomorrow we're going to do this. Are you for real? It's like, yeah, I didn't show up. And you think, oh, it's just late night bar talk. Then you get a DM or a text. It's like, you coming today? It's like, oh shit, they're for real. It's like, and that's the entire barbecue community in a nutshell, you know?
I agree.
You know, it didn't used to be like that, but I think the whole new wave is like, man, there's no competition. Everybody's in it together. Everybody helps each other. And we just do what we do.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe, and I, you know, I only know the wave and the era I know or whatever, but it's weird. Like, even when I came up and I never competed serious or nothing, but me and my boys would compete, you know, the backyard KCBS competitions up and down the state, whatever. But even then, it was one of those things like the teams we compete against, like, you talk shit, you have fun, but it's like, throughout the day, we were always drinking, hanging together. Like I never really got, and you could kind of see, and now that you pointed out, like you would look at some of the older cats that just stay in their tent all day or don't want to kick it, or But yeah, I figure it's like, yeah, just the more the merrier, man. It's a party. Life is a party. I always say that, and I want to party with everybody,
No doubt.
So Chuck, before I give it back to you, Brandon, one last question for you. What is something that Chuck struggles with when it comes to cooking?
Do I struggle with? I mean, I struggle with a lot. Baking, proper French techniques. Maybe people would say my food is over seasoned. I think I struggle with following rules at times. You see a recipe or something, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way. I think I struggle with restraint. I can struggle with creativity. I struggle a lot. And there's the burnout that comes along with doing this for a job. Whether you're a chef or you run a food truck or a content creator, whatever the hell it is that I do. It's one of those things that you get in the ruts. And it's funny because in the days of pictures, it was so different. I swear I posted steaks 5 times a week and people love that shit, but now you can't cook. Oh, let's just sear a steak and post a video. Like it's one thing to see a picture perfect steak. It's another to watch a video. After you see someone sear a steak, it's kind of like you've seen it 1,000 times. So I really struggle. I would say like lately it's been the burnout, the creativity, and then trying to manage time appropriately. I struggle with a lot, but yeah, I think creativity is probably the biggest one lately. And I think I've been good. I got a bunch of new shit that's on the way, especially after traveling. I like to go out and eat and, have drinks and shit. You travel a little bit. It's like, oh, I can make this. I can do that. I will put but it's like, I think you need those little moments of inspiration. So, but otherwise it's, oh, here's another brisket. Here's another brisket. And, I haven't posted a brisket in a couple of months, I don't think. So proud of myself for that. It's like, well, brisket always hits. So it's like the easy thing when like, oh, shit's been slow. I need some engagement. I can post a brisket and it's always going to do well. Like it just always hits, So it's like the fact that I haven't relied on that. It's like I'm trying to tell myself, hey, bro, if you don't have something you're confident with or don't want to put out, wait a couple of days, put out the next video. Like, yeah.
Is brisket a boring cook to you?
It is and it isn't. It's boring in that it's the same. And I know this is going to sound like a stupid ass answer, but it's the best way I can explain it. But it's not boring in that it's not the same in that what smoker am I cooking it on? What's the weather like? Is it choice? Is it select? Is it American Wagyu? Is it prime? Am I going hot and fast? Am I trying original flavor profile? So I guess it would be if I wanted to keep it simple, yeah, it's a boring cook. But one thing about me is I don't have a lot of the same brisket cooks on my page. I like to try different flavors, binders, rubs, temps, spritzes, all that. So yes and no.
I think for me, it always seems to be a boring cook because I always, like you said, you got all the different rubs and this and that, but I always go back to, 16 mesh black pepper and kosher salt and posto. And that's just what really resonates with me. So for me,
totally,
it's cruise control, and I tell people that and they're like, because everybody looks at brisket, that's the mecca of barbecue cooking, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like, dude, you season up this or you trim up the brisket, you season it up, you put it on the pit, and you don't see that bad boy for a good 6-7 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. And less, and that's why I like to play. It's like, you do hot and fast. It's like, well, shit, in about 90 minutes, I got to flip and spritz this baby, it's like, so, or it's like, when, Tone's really good at that. My boy, Stefan, 406 barbecue, like he'll take a brisket and smoke it and do some straight up, island, Hawaiian, Samoan, Polynesian shit with it, where it's like, oh, he puts it in leaves and coconut, like crazy stuff. So I think I think you've seen that. And I'm sure y'all know being out in Austin, Texas, all that. The places that I think are winning a lot lately are getting recognized. It's not just any more smoked sliced brisket. Yeah. It's, it's, a Mexican influence or a Vietnamese influence. Or it's, you've got to do something more than just, and I'm not saying salt and pepper doesn't hit no more, but as far as I think making things exciting you've just got to switch it up because people are so exposed now to the classic, take that classic Texas style brisket and put it in something, put it in a bun mi, put it, it's like, there's just ways to, zhuzh it up and make it pop a little more. So yeah. But I'm right there with you. I have those cruise control days. There's nothing better when it's like, oh, we want a brisket ship. And I've got a brisket down where if I get up and put it on at 5 a.m, we could be eating brisket for dinner, and it comes out money. So it's like those days, salt, pepper, garlic, throw that BZ on and we'll have brisket for dinner. But for content and things like that, it's like, I want to switch it up.
See there, Brandon, you got to boil some ribs, bro.
Yeah. Actually, I should do that for a video. I'm about to,
dude, we've been talking about that.
Hey, listen, Al was challenging me to do this and make it a thing. because I am completely and totally against it. But I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Do it. It'll go viral, bro. And play it 100% serious.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
But
I don't know if anybody would take me seriously, boy.
No, Brett, you just make a serious face for your thumbnail and say this is the game changer.
It'll blow up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A quick intro. This rib recipe will change your life.
There you go.
Then people will come to my house.
Yeah. Before this power kicks out again, Chuck, what's one thing that you haven't done yet that you're looking forward to doing that kind of gives you the chills just thinking about it? Like, is there a particular cook, particular event?
Man, one thing that I'd love to do that I haven't done yet that gives me chills. I mean, there's a lot. I'm trying to think of something kind of feasible and reasonable. There's one thing, doing barbecue Brawl. One of the reasons, and it's one of the things that probably haunts me, I'm most disappointed in. When I did the show, being adopted, one of the things I said, and I never tell my wife this, is like, I want to be able to say on national television, like, like I love my parents, thank you for adopting me. However that came across, whatever the chance was. And I know there were moments where I talked about it or mentioned it, but I never got when I got eliminated, even I could have been like real quick, and I didn't say that. So if I ever get the chance to go back on TV or the news or anything like that, just to get the opportunity to acknowledge that, and say thanks to my folks, that's probably like the thing I want to do the most,
Dude, I know they know. I know they know.
Oh, yeah. Of course they know.
Yeah, and it's like, and I again, and especially with the relationship my dad and I have now, we've always had a good relationship, but just getting older, you talk more, and as men, you get softer, you start sharing, whatever. But just having the relationship we have now, I definitely know he's proud, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like as a kid, like what better way to do it? It's like, everyone says I'd love to be able to scream it from the mountaintops. And I guess the closest thing outside of posting it on social media, which I've done, is to be able to do it on TV, and it's like, regardless of whatever happens, like to be able to be like, hey, however the hell I got there, I got to be on TV through food or whatever, which really did start in the kitchen with those folks, to be able to say like, thank y'all, I love you. That just seems like it'd be fucking cool, for lack of a better word, like it'd just be really cool,
If I heard you correctly, you mentioned he's from Italy, right?
Yeah, I mean Italian heritage, yeah. Oh, okay, so he's third generation here, yeah. So his grandfather came over, yeah.
Okay, I got you. I was going to ask you if you had a chance to go to Italy or not.
No, I haven't. It's on the list though, yeah. My wife and I have been talking about that, like. And again, all that stuff too is like, I'd love to get to Italy one day, via food, and, Japan and all that stuff. But again, like that stuff, whether or not it happens through food and social, that'll happen. But like, just to be able to say thanks to them on a large platform would be cool,
Okay. Gotcha. Chuck, we got a standing question that we've been asking our guests here for a while now.
Here we go.
As it stands today, is barbecue a luxury item? What's your thoughts?
Barbecue is not a luxury item, despite what social media and certain people may have you believe. People are going to say, well, meat's expensive. Well, yeah, even if you're not barbecuing, you're cooking in the house and you got meat, that shit's expensive. So I don't like that argument. As far as, it being expensive, yeah, it can be, but like we talked about, it doesn't have to be. You can get a used grill. You can literally make a fire pit in your backyard and throw some chicken wire on and cook on that right now. And it shouldn't be Wagyu. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with smoking, an American Wagyu brisket or, buying the best pork you can find. But really what it started and originated from was this shit's cheap. It's tough. It takes all long to cook. We got fire. Let's cook that shit. So no, it's not a luxury item. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a luxury category. I think you can make it luxury, but I think that's food in general. But food is really fucking grain and water. Bread, bread is food, and bread can be the best thing you've had in the world. You get some fresh made bread, sourdough, it's awesome, But you can also take that same, fresh made bread and serve it with some caviar and imported shit, and suddenly it's high end and it's fancy, it's luxury, It's like so no. The short answer is no. It's not a luxury thing, and I don't think it should be. Like I said, if I beyond people taking away the flavor from me, it's like I can cook. I'm telling y'all, I'm not smart. I wasn't good in school. I didn't study this shit. I'm a fat guy that burns things, and every once in a while I get it right. If I can do this barbecue thing, and if I can make it work, y'all can too. There's grocery outlets, there's Goodwills, there's dollar stores, there's all kinds of places that have cheap meat, cheap food, cheap accessories and equipment. Make it work for you.
I heard that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I want to ask, we asked you about experiences that you want to try and stuff, but last year, you had an experience. You were at my favorite sporting event, and you was out at the drag races. out there
Yeah.
with the nitro cars, man.
Yeah.
So, dude, I've been going to drag races for about 20 years. Tell me what that was like for you, bro.
Speaking of, it's really cool. Actually, I just was in contact with them. I think I should be back there this year, which will be really cool.
Nice.
Cooking with the drivers and stuff. But no, it was 2 years ago, or almost 3 years now. This will be year 3 coming up next month. But so the first year when they invited me out, a mutual friend that owns a winery, hey, you want to come out and cook for the drivers, and then see if we can get you tickets or something. Like, yeah, let's check it out, And so I went and did it. Cooked for the drivers, and they were all super cool, down to earth people. Had a blast, and then going to the track. I'm, making jokes like, brother, I don't go to races, like I don't know what it's like out there, like it's don't know what to expect, yada yada.
Yeah, you don't know if it was the good old boys out there. No?
Exactly, it's like
I understand.
Yeah, it's like you just don't know. And especially given the time, whatever. So I went out there, and it was amazing. The people. Again, you talk about even there, people not even expecting to get and recognize, cats from Atlanta and, or Georgia and Louisiana and just all the South that can, brother, I follow you. I know. Awesome. But beyond that, just the whole vibe, the experience, the energy's palpable, the noise when they take off and the way it's just like, it's literally an adrenaline rush, it's like smelling salts every, 5 minutes when they go off. It's like when they, it's like, whoa, you feel it. And then it's like, oh shit. Okay. I'm just calming down. It's like, here they go again. It's like, oh yeah. So they're all day. It's like that, So, it's one of those things where it's like, I was fortunate enough last year I brought my daughter back, which is really cool. She loved it. Got to sit up in the suite and all that. She's like asking, are we going to get to do that again this year? Which we are. She just doesn't know that yet. But yeah,
nice.
I had a blast. It was truly a fun experience. And they made a fan out of me. It's really cool. They really have made a fan. I see the races on at a bar. And you see like, who watches this shit now? I'm like, oh, I'll watch that. Like, it's like, I can keep up with that. I understand it. I know some drivers, so super cool. Super cool.
Hey, Brent, I got to piggyback on this one.
Go ahead.
So it's funny you brought this up because here a few weeks back, the same friend that I was just talking about, we went to their wedding. A few weeks prior to that, we had this whole weekend where we went out to the hill country. All the guys and girls, it was a joint thing. At one point we split up and all the girls went to one of the wineries and all the guys went over to Garrison Brothers distillery, check out the, the bourbon or whatever. And anyway, the night before we were at a restaurant and this couple came in and they were, with us. He sat across from me and his wife was next to him. I had no clue who they were. Somebody came in and they looked over and they came around the table and they walked over to him and said, hey, I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to shake your hand, whatever. And so I'm like, dude, who is this dude? And come to find out it was Tony Schumacher, and I'm like,
oh, and that's the guy.
Yeah. I had
that's
no
the
clue.
Dude.
So what's funny about that?
Handsome little Italian looking cat.
Yeah. So
hair done all perfect.
Yeah.
So we got to talking or whatever, and because they had known me because my friend always posts stuff on social media and pumping me and barbecue and this and that. So anyway, he was like, "Hey man, I met this guy at this event. Oh man," he's asked his wife, "Hey, what's his name? I can't remember his name." And they were like trying to remember your name. And he couldn't remember it, so he comes back the next morning, and we got ready to go to the Garrison Brothers. She goes, "It was Flavor Train." I said, "Oh yeah, I know who Flavor Train is." Tony Schumacher was like, "Yeah, man, he was a cool dude, and he came out to the races, blah 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 blah, this and the other." So yeah, man, I just
thought, that's really cool. Yeah, no, I follow him on social. It's been like 2 years now. Him, Ron Capps, Anton Brown. Or it's like there's a lot of good dudes out there. They've been really cool, supportive. Yeah, but yeah, Tony, really cool dude. Yeah, he brought us back, gave us a little tour of his trailer and stuff. And it's like those folks live a different life, man. They're like,
But like you said, they're so cool and down to earth.
They are. It's like,
man, we had a good time with them. I'm gonna have to hit him up and tell him, hey man, we had a
please. I was just gonna say, like I said, if it's, he's been there 2 years in a row. So this winery we do stuff with, they do like they kind of like the winemakers will get blends or like, basically base wines will have to make their own blend and they have a competition to pair it with like a food bite, whatever. But yeah, he's done it 2 years in a row and stuff like that. And I want to say he won last year, actually, the most recent year we did it, he won it. So hopefully he'll be back this year and I get to work with him again. So, but yeah. Well, I'll message him right after this too, telling you something.
Yeah. Well, if you do, ask him, because I was on the way home today from work and this black Lamborghini went by me, and I was like, dude, I wonder if that was Tony.
Yeah. I'll message him last. What kind of car do you drive? Yeah.
So yeah, funny story.
Small world.
Man.
Yeah,
He's always been super cool when I'm at the track, man. And last time I was at the race here, just outside of Dallas, I had my son with me. And my son grew up a Tony Schumacher fan, and so
Okay.
I was able to get a picture of them together. So I had a picture of them together when my son was like 5 or 6 years old, and then one when he was like 18. And so,
Damn.
yeah, and I think
cool,
you
though.
showed him that picture too, Al. And so,
yeah. Because like I said, I didn't know who he was at the time because I didn't watch drag racing or whatever. And
Yeah.
so Brandon sent me the picture of him and his son, with Tony, and so I showed you got a kick out of that.
Al texted me. He was like, "Hey, you big into drag racing, right?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "You know who Tony Schumacher is?" Like, do I know who Tony? I was like, that dude's a living legend. I'm like, yeah, I know who Tony Schumacher is. And he cool as hell.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah.
But yeah, that sport, man. Like I said, bro, everything you described about it, I love. My wife's a huge fan, and one of the biggest things.
My wife got into it too, just because I brought my wife, like I said, when I brought my daughter too, and it was the same thing. She's like, "What are we doing here?" Like, I'm not. And now she's like, she admitted she like texted her dad after like the first race. It's like, "Papa, like you have to come check this shit out." Like you have. It was like, it's like.
Dude, I'll give you a funny story about my wife becoming a fan. So I took my wife to the race in Indy. Indy is like their Super Bowl, and but I had some really, really evil motivations. So my motivation was, I'm going to take my wife to this race. She's going to hate it, but I'll be able to go to all the races and not be bothered with my wife nagging and doing all this stuff, because, it's that place, dude. Like I said, the smells, it's loud, it's hot. Like typically most women are going to be complaining about an environment like that. Bro, my wife instantly fell in love. I think she's probably a bigger race fan than I am. And dude, we plot out our races for the year. Dude, if I went to a race without my wife right now, I'd be probably getting divorce proceedings going, man. So,
yeah, it's like, I got to admit though, like, like being invited out there. So they put us up, like we were in like a little indoor room, like, I don't know if it was a suite or whatever, like nice. So it's like, I don't know how it'd be if my wife was down in the sun or like, it might've been different, but regardless, either way, she had a blast, man. It was super cool.
That's the tip. Get into the Nitro Club or whatever they call it, because there's air conditioning, they got the monitors, private bar and all that stuff. And then if you want to go out there,
the private bar is the key.
Yeah. Just have that option, and Mama will enjoy herself, man.
Exactly.
Cool stuff, man. T, we got you back. Y'all, T has been having I'm assuming because of the weather, y'all having those power outages.
Oh my goodness. Bro. Yeah, man. It just like it flickers off real quick, but then it's back on. But of course, you got to wait for the router and all that stuff to queue back up, and then I got to reload. But yeah,
absolutely, man. What do you have a final question, man, before we get ready to get up out of here?
Just what's next, man? What's next for the Flavor Train?
Oh man, I never really know. I feel like life's a whirlwind, but no, as far as official things, still events, I got the NHRA event coming up, so that'll be next month. I just spoke with the chef that runs the meat carnival. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Instagram. It's the event. It's like, a bunch of chefs get together. Everyone eats with their hands, no utensils. It's kind of like a traveling circus. I'm going to try to get on the schedule for that this year. Then outside of that, man, wherever the wind takes me, man, I'm a train and I'm rolling. So social media, I'm everywhere cooking, got a few winery events in the works. And outside of that, man, staying busy, trying to stay sane.
Nice.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, brother, man, we appreciate you jumping on, man. It's glad to finally get you on here, man.
I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. We're going to have to do it again. Tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
Everything is at Chuck's Flavor Train. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Chuck's Flavor Train, all one word. That's the email or Gmail too, baby. So get at me if you want to feast like a beast. You know what I'm saying?
My man. Al, tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
Hey, you can find me everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, The Dog Fathers Barbecue, DAWGFATHAS BBQ. You can also find me on the Pit Boss Grills YouTube channel. We are on the original playlist, The Backyard Bosses, and we now have our own playlist called Barbecue Boulevard with the Dog Fathers. So come get at me.
That boy got his own money, Chuck. You see that?
Got that pit boss money.
I'm telling you, man. So you tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
You can catch me at tdub.bbq on all the socials, tdub-bbq on YouTube. And if you're in the Porchy, check me out on the Brown Sugar Cafe and get your copy of my latest book, Paint is Not Our Only Paintbrush. It's available on my website, thebrownssugarcafe.blog/hope.
My man. And folks, y'all can find me everywhere except for that pit of hell known as X or Twitter or whatever they call it these days. I don't do that, but everywhere else, look for BKC Cooks, and you will find me and this luxurious mane. Y'all see I got my lid did today. Boy, do y'all see them coils? Look at that. Bounce back.
Looking clean.
Y'all are not ready.
Oh, that's that Dominican hair, boy.
Brother, look. This is straight brother right here, baby. Do you see it? Look at it. It's glistening. It's hydrated. Y'all ain't ready, man. Y'all ain't ready. But I am also on the Pit Boss YouTube channel on the Backyard Bosses. I don't have my own show just yet, but I'm working on it. I ain't like my man Al, but I'm getting there. But yeah, listen here, y'all. Make sure you subscribe right here to the Black Smoke Barbecue YouTube channel and boogie on over to Patreon. Get yourself a membership because we got all kind of exclusive over there, including Black Smoke After Dark. We get a little ignorant over there, Chuck.
Just a little bit.
We get into stuff that we can't get
That's
into.
the best. That's the best, man. I tell everyone, like at these barbecue events and festivals, what you really want to do is come by afterwards when we start drinking and hang out. You know, it's like,
And that's what we do on Black Smoke After Dark. So yeah, y'all boogie on over there, get your little membership, man, and come have some fun with us. And again, y'all, we want to thank our man Chuck from Chuck's Flavor Train for hanging with us, y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate you, fellas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is Black Smoke Barbecue, y'all. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.